Alright, homie. 220. All right. We will give it a couple minutes here, see if I can get my normal like 4 or 5 people in there. Oh shit, my whole clip. Get the mind right real quick. Need something after that fucking, it's a pretty fucking bullshit card. Climax was 30 seconds, which is good, I guess. We got that shit over with, but let me turn this fucking music down a little bit. Buster Rhymes bumping. What up, dog? Not much to talk about tonight, really. It is what it is. It was a Connor card, I guess, but yeah, not much to talk about. Had the break and had this, plan to jump on tonight. So fuck, I did it anyway, I guess. Before we get started, to the one and only, my dude Bo, to you. We accepted my Canadian brother Bo, masters in mathematics, masters in English. We accepted him into the Big Blue Nation. Pretty sure his favorite player is Bam down there in Miami. I'm pretty sure he's already got one of those Miami Vice Bam fucking jerseys. He's a true believer. He's a true believer. Pretty much got pretty much got Bo into Big Blue Nation almost like a Branch Davidian. The man's committed like David Koresh to the Big Blue Nation. Yeah, we'll let a couple more people get in here. Got 5, waiting for my usual 7. I'm that popular in the I'll go into some. I was DMing with somebody. I don't know. I don't want to sound like I don't know. I guess it comes off as hating a little bit, but it's crazy the guys that are out here selling just bad MMA picks, man. It's almost laughable at this point. Just knowing some of the respectable guys that I know that's open on Twitter and post their picks and stuff, that are really good fight cappers, man, and then they know what they're looking at, and man, this nobody knows about them, but you got these guys that are out here selling $500 packages, dude, and can barely make a profit. It's unbelievable. I get it, man. There's a sucker born every day, but gambling becoming mainstream and MMA being the small niche kind of sport that it is, it's fucking rife for just grifters, man. It's just rife for it. Uh, my boy Steve, uh, I'd like to talk to my dude Steve in real life one time, share a beer, man, because I would figure you probably got about as good as an accent as I do. We've had some pretty good chats on Twitter, man. I think we would both have a pretty good accent going on. Uh, yeah, we got my 7 in here, so yeah, it was a card, I guess. Um, I didn't have high expectations for it or anything, but man, fuck it. It was bad. Could you imagine paying for that shit? Um, I bought like every UFC pay per view. Like, man, I can't. It was up to around 100 or something like that. And I mean, I bought every single one. Admittedly, I used to have like more friends that got into the UFC and stuff, and we would buy them together. But they kind of got out of watching the sport and stuff, and oh my god. Look, all right, so my boyfriend just showed up in the chat, so I don't want y'all to get all kind of you know what I'm saying, feeling funny and shit. But this dude might say some bad shit about me, man. My boy Matt, what's up, dude? Um, yeah, so it's just not the pay per views aren't what they were anymore. But man, I can't remember the last time I bought a pay per view, and I don't feel bad about it whatsoever. I gave these motherfuckers so much of my money for so many years, and was happy to do it. Uh, but man, when you're selling cards like this, I get it's Connor, but that tonight was almost like even worse than one of the. If you're as old as I am, one of those Mike Tyson cards from like the late '80s. You know what I'm saying? Um, when it was you know, Mike and a bunch of bums underneath, and Tyson knocks the guy out in like 30 seconds, and you're like, "Fuck! I just spent $60 on this." You know, it's kind of how tonight reminded me of. That's a deal, my dude. Me and the wife is definitely coming out for Del Mar in a couple years. She's pumped. Gonna do the whole fucking coast ride and everything. Stay up and down California. We're gonna take a couple weeks out there. Never seen it, and I'm looking forward to it. Um, but tonight absolutely felt like one of those cards, man. It was not good. But yeah, we'll get into it. Uh, yeah, but Connor's back. Me and my boy Sean. If you listen to our little shitty podcast, me and my boy Sean been talking about this for probably about a year or so. That if Connor came back, I wasn't totally convinced he was ever going to come back to MMA. I don't think that wasn't like a hot take or anything. I think a lot of people thought he might have been done or been pursuing like more lucrative boxing matches. But me and Sean talked about it quite a few times that if he did come back, uh, Cowboy was the perfect, just the absolute perfect matchup for him. A good name in the sport, a highly ranked opponent, and a guy that is just an absolutely beautiful matchup for him. We know. I think I tweeted out like, you know, I think Cowboys an all time great. I think the numbers speak for themselves, but um, every time he's made it to the top, the pinnacle like that, he fails, man, every single time, and he did it once again tonight. But struggling with southpaws his entire career. They set Connor up nice. I mean, uh, they needed that as a company. The sport kind of needed, I think. It's hard to say, but I don't think I've ever been as disinterested in MMA, and that's kind of like contradictory coming from me because I don't miss a UFC fight. Literally, I've seen every single UFC fight. I watch every one of them every week. I watch more fights than a lot of people, and I'm disinterested in it. It's kind of weird, but um, this shit is so watered down, man. The sport needs guys like Connor in it. Um, this gets him right back in there, and I think he fights a few times this year now. Going from not thinking he is going to fight ever again in MMA to thinking he probably fights a few times this year is kind of crazy to me. But I've switched. I do think he fights a few times this year, and I mean at 170, Jorge is the fight, right? I mean, there's no other fight at 170. He gets absolutely mauled by Usman for a belt. He gets mauled by Kobe for some kind of contender fight. I mean, the Jorge fight is, I mean, you can flip a coin there, I think, but it's a huge fight. Is there a bigger fight in MMA now after tonight? I couldn't name it. That's a huge fight. Um, Listen to the pop that Jorge got when they put the camera on him tonight. I mean, he is a legitimate star in MMA. He's mainstream. It's really kind of crazy where Jorge is now after a year. It's crazy. There might not be any other guys that have went mainstream like Jorge outside of Connor. Like that guy's on ESPN and stuff. He is like crazy popular now. It's pretty insane. The way he's risen over the past just a year and a half. That's a massive fight, man. I tell you, that's a massive fight. That fight could actually do some legit pay-per-view numbers, you know, quote unquote, in this day and age. That one could. I really think that fight could do as good as they could do now. But I think that's iffy for Connor. That's an iffy fight, man. I don't think Connor is like, he's still Connor. That guy's, everybody knows how I feel about Connor personally. He is a legitimately great fighter. He is. There's no denying that. I think he's at his worst at 170. I mean, he's just, tonight doesn't tell the tale. That was a perfect matchup for him. He's slower at 170. Might think he has some power and stuff. I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, just the bloated up, puffed up muscles don't necessarily translate to having power. Speed and technique more translates to power than big puffy muscles. And I'll always think that Connor was his best at 145. I mean, he was an absolute animal at 145. Speed, his power translated down. I mean, he had as much power as he does at 170 down at 145, and his speed was just insane. He's got to go to 155, and there's just incredible matchups down there, right? I mean, it's He'll never hold a title down there. Don't get me wrong. Like, he can't beat Khabib. He could remake. He could say all he wants, all these interviews all week long, saying excuse after it. Like, I remember way back when people were like, "Oh, Conor's such a humble loser," and no, he's not. No, he's not. He's never been a humble loser. That guy makes excuse after excuse after excuse, like most fighters do. Most great fighters do. They'll always make an excuse, but he's done it with Khabib all week. Excuse after excuse. I was drinking. I was partying. I wasn't training right. I was doing that. I wasn't doing it. Well, that whatever. Conor at his peak at 155. To me, Khabib's the greatest lightweight ever. That nobody has beaten him. Conor has never beaten him. It's not happening. Conor does not have the skill set to beat Khabib at 155, but that's fine. Khabib's not going to fight forever at 155. Khabib's probably going to retire soon. But there's just crazy matchups down there. Could you imagine Conor? I mean, against Tony or Gaethje? Those are two of the craziest fights that we'll ever see. Could you imagine those fights? That's insane. It's great to have Conor back. We'll see how all this personal outside the cage shit ends up turning out. But it's better. It's absolutely better for the sport when Conor is in it, and he's a great fighter. Personally, how I feel about the dude, it doesn't matter. When I fucking cat fights, like tonight was a gift, a fucking gift. I mean, him by KO was like 180 minus 180. That's insane. That's insane. That was an absolute. That was a fucking gift tonight. Let's see. Yeah, hey, Rogan wanted to kill Stephen A. Smith. Like seriously, man. I get it. Stephen A. Smith makes like a lot of money at UFC, and he's like a boxing fan, kind of an MMA fan, and the dude's got this fucking ego to where he wants to be at the fights. He wants to have that clout. Like, I'm not just at the fights. I'm gonna get up here and talk about them and shit. I mean, if you listen to his, like, they actually tried to put him on play-by-play for some ESPN shit, and he was so fucking bad. They just couldn't do it. I mean, they tried, and he was so fucking bad. Yeah, Rogan, and like Rogan's somebody to be critiquing anybody's expertise on MMA right now. I mean, God, I seem like I come on here and talk about it every time I do this bullshit, but man, Rogan's gone. He's done. It is kind of sad to see. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Rogan kind of gave way back in the 90s. Rogan kind of gave a little legitimacy to MMA because he was on network TV and stuff. I mean, I remember Rogan he started doing backstage interviews and shit before he even got to commentate. He's gone, man. That dude is completely fucking gone. I don't even know if he knows what he's watching anymore. And the bad thing is, it's not how bad he is. It's that he rubs off on guys. Like, Rogan's so bad. Like, I like Felder like quite a bit. He can be better, and I think he's getting better and stuff. He's still fighting. I think if he would 100% be committed to commentating fights, he'd be really good at it. But man, when Felder is with Rogan commentating fights, he just agrees with all the dumb bullshit that Rogan's saying. Anik too. Anik is great. Like, I will not say a bad word about Anik. That guy is fucking great at doing his job on there. But Rogan will suck him into his bullshit from time to time, man. His narratives about. I mean, tonight it's every card Rogan does. Even tonight, there's a few fights to where it's like people's on Twitter like, is Rogan watching the same fight that the rest of us are? I don't know what he's doing anymore, man. It bothers me more that he's rubbing off on the guys that are fairly decent and trying to get better at calling fights. Um, but I went off on that tangent. So, all right, let me check my chat and see Matt. If he's talking any shit about me here. What would I line Jorge versus Connor? There's no way on earth that Jorge is favored over Connor. No way on earth. He was minus 300 tonight against Cowboy. I mean, I'd say it's probably. I think Connor opened it like right around minus 200 against Cowboy. I think it would be right around there against Jorge. They're going to make Connor a favorite. It's not who will win. It's just there's going to be money coming in on Connor. I'd say it's around 2-1. Connor's a fave. I'm not very good at predicting lines though, so take that for what it is. But those kind of fights are usually easy to kind of predict, man. The money's going to come in on Connor. They're going to make him around a 2-1 fave, I would guess. Yeah, I don't see, man. I don't see Connor fighting in 6 weeks, but he's going to fight a couple more times this year. The Jorge fight's happening. Like seriously, that fight's going to happen. That's just too big. I don't see the UFC turning that fight down. They have Connor back for however amount of time that they have him. They're going to make the biggest fight that they can with him right now. It doesn't matter if it's belts or stuff. And on top of it, I will say, like this week, Connor said multiple times talking about that BMF belt. Like, I've been a double champ. I've won 2 UFC belts. Well, I kind of want that BMF belt. I think he really does. I think he wants that belt. I think he wants that trophy. That's too big a fight, man. He's fighting Jorge next. You go ahead and book that shit. That's just too big of a fight for the UFC to turn down. It's going to be fucking massive. I want to see it. I mean, he can go back to 155 after that, and there's matchups there. I mean, that's just too much heat on that fight right now, in my opinion, for them not to do it. It's going to happen. Yeah, my mic, I got my radio kind of loud, man. If my music's coming back in on y'all, just tell me, man. I'm sorry, shit. I'm over here on like 2 bottles of Merlot, couple bourbons. It's all for my dude, Bo. He won't see us tonight, probably. He's got family and shit, but I swear to God, Matt. I swear, dude. Look, if I could like come through this motherfucker and like teleport to San Diego, I come through like a bottle of fucking Woodford and drop. I told my dude Steve in here that I wouldn't even drink proper 12 out of a fucking toilet bowl. There's no fucking way. All right, fucking Matt shows up. I'm just here to fuck with you about the proper 12, dog. All right, should we even go over this fucking card, man? I guess I got to, right? Masvidal 130 opener, in my opinion. I'm not sure about that. I think it's more, it's kind of more thinking, I don't know, man. I'm a horrible line predictor. It could be that. I would think Connor's gonna absolutely open as a fave, though. Like seriously, there's just I can't see other way around that. But they give me Jorge at some good plus money. I think that's a hard matchup for Connor. He got a perfect one tonight. There's just no arguing that. He got a perfect fucking matchup tonight. You'll never see that fucking guy in the cage against Usman or Kobe. Hell, even Woodley, Leon Edwards. I mean, those guys are probably going to fuck him up. Looks like he's fucking just puffed up, though, man. I don't like him at 170. Um, that shit will catch up. If he's got to go 15, he's not going to knock all these guys out in the first round, man. It just, he's got to go 3-4 rounds. It's not going to be good for him. All right. Yeah, I mean, Connor being active it's great for the sport. I'll say that over and over. It is. We need that guy in the sport. No doubt about that. Yeah, I mean, Connor's got to. I mean, I think we all know, like, hell, the few people in here, we know that guy was running around like going wild and out. I mean, trust me, I've seen some dudes go on some fucking crazy benders, man. That guy's been on like a year bender. It's not. I don't want that excuses though when like you're training and shit and you show up and get dominated by Khabib and you're like, oh, I was drinking a little bit and shit. Like, shut the fuck up. Don't bring that shit. Be right. Don't show up then. Wow, really? So Bet Online had Jorge minus 170. Wow. Yeah, I'm completely wrong on that. Yeah, see, I'm a horrible line predictor, no doubt. That's as far as my opinion on the fight. That's probably closer to right because I think Jorge is any of those guys at 170 are a problem for Connor. It's not a weight class he needs to be in. How do you know he's not pounding co-eds right now, Matty? He's just bored pounding co-eds. Oh, fuck. Jesus. All right, man. Let's peep just a little bit of the card. Fuck, we can go over real quick. I will. We can talk about maybe Madison. There's some zip files in the chat of co-ed banging. Who shot you? All right, fuck. Chick fight. Only reason I care is Aldridge got robbed. I had a little bit of money on her. It's bullshit. So what the fuck ever. Ledette is fucking horrible. Dover. Now that was pretty cool. The dude Hasperat, man, I was completely wrong on that fight. I thought Hasperat was a really good up and comer, man. You can't like kind of stay a distance like that and throw soft shit. He got caught. I thought he would go for more takedowns, and if he did, I think he puts Dover down and wins that fight. He got sparked. Dover by KO was like plus 500 or some shit like that. Yeah, props if you had it. Yeah, Askarov, I think is pretty good. He beat a good guy tonight. That him touching Tim Elliott in the first was fucking awesome. That half fucking folding chair up straight up in the air was awesome. Askarov is legit. Yusuf is that guy is fucking awesome. I think we all knew how good of a striker he was, but He showed me a lot as far as like when Feely was getting in deep and was taking him down, and those body locks Feely was having up against the cage. Man, Youssef, outside of his power, he was showing very good technique, man, in getting out of those and getting up off of his back. Um, Man, fucking coasting in the third like that for a motherfucker that has like a good chunk of money on him. I'm no Marley or anything. I don't bet 20 unit Scud missile bombs or nothing, but to have a good chunk of money on Youssef, man, that was like worrisome and scary. Um, you can't do that. You cannot. These motherfuckers are so fucking bad. I mean, Adelaide Bird in the first against Aldridge. And can we talk about how the fuck is this fucking woman still judging fights in MMA? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, man. What are we doing? How the fuck is she still around, man? Like, fuck, I tweeted, it's like, there is no hope for anybody that it's like, man, hopefully they'll fix this shit someday. No, they ain't fixing that shit. We fucking bet actual money on this shit. There is no way they're. I don't know. Youssef is good, man. I fucking hate that he's with fucking rapist ass fuck Lloyd Irvin. That sucks, but Youssef seems like a cool cat, man. The guy's really, really good. That's a contender. I hope that he's fucking knocking out James Vick every day in practice. That would make me very happy if James Vick is a tall guy punching bag to Youssef every day. That'd be pretty fucking awesome. Man, Roxanne, holy fuck, dude. Look, don't lay 10-1 on any chick. Period. Don't lay 10-1 on any chick ever. I don't care. Don't lay 10-1 on Amanda Nunes. You sure as fuck shouldn't be laying 10-1 on Macy Barber. I'm happy for Modafferi. I really am. It's no bullshit. Like, that chick's been around a long time, man, and she's gotten better. She has. She has gotten better at fighting. But that was a bad loss for Macy Barber. I will give her some props to. She probably blew her knee out. Like, I think she completely blew her knee out. And to stay in that fight, she reversed and was on top in the third round, like dropping some stuff. And Roxanne just switched on her, got an underhook, and she didn't have her knee and shit to, like, they kind of got up to their feet. It was locked. She wasn't stopping that. She couldn't. I still think that chick can be good. You can't teach. Chicks don't have knockout power down there like she does. You cannot teach that. You can't. She's gonna be good. I still think she probably wins that fight if she doesn't blow her knee out. That literally happened at the start of the second round. Like, I think she probably still wins that fight if she doesn't blow her knee out at the beginning of the second round. But it'll probably end up being the best thing that ever happened to her. A loss like that early in her career. Props to Roxanne, and I mean, she cashed as a plus fucking 650 underdog. Her by decision was like plus 850. That's just insane. And props to the 5 people in Toutmaster that picked it. You got a leg up on everybody to start the new Toutmaster season. Yeah, CDF against Pettis. Look, Pettis is he's done. He's completely fucking washed. Him catching Zombie in, I think it was in Texas when I was down there for that card. It cost me a ton of money. And he's just been bad for a while now. It's one of those guys that are, early 30s, and they have, they're like 60 in fight years. Pettis is done, man. CDF, his career trajectory over the past 2 or 3 years, though, think he had like a drug test failure a few years ago, and since then, like he got caught, and then after that he got better. It's kind of weird, but he's been really good, man. That guy's good. Um, we'll see what they do with him here, but man, what the fuck does Pettis do now? I really don't know. You're losing to the Diego Ferreras of the world. As good as I think that guy probably is, nobody knows who that is. Nobody knows him. Fuck is Pettis doing from here, man? Does the UFC keep him? Man, I guess he's still kind of a name, but fuck, he loses. He's not good anymore. It's almost like it's that curse. You get that good, you get that name, and you gotta. It's like Frankie Edgar and shit. They can't do nothing but give you names. You're always gonna get guys that are younger and probably better than you, and get fucked up. So you like cut them or keep them and like let them be a gatekeeper. Pettis is in that realm now. It's. I think he's completely done. He's an absolute fade at. I mean, tonight he was getting like minus 200 on CDF. It wasn't too bad. Speaking of shady touts, this dude sold a 4-unit bet on a debuting UFC fighter. Had some quick win on Tuesday night Contender Series. Fighting a pretty, a very experienced guy. Guy been in, I mean, his past 2 fights, I believe, were against John Lineker and somebody else I can't remember. It was a highly ranked guy. And what happens? UFC debut fighter gets quickly choked out by the more experienced guy. Fought the way better competition. That's what these fucking touts are selling people, man. Like I'm a fucking nobody. I know a couple, my boy Sean that does our podcast with me. I'll take that guy against any MMA tout out there. I'll take Sean against any of them. Nobody knows who Sean is. Like, nobody knows who he is. There's nothing wrong with that. Sean's going to make his money. Sean wouldn't sell picks. But that's how fucked up that game is, man. These dudes that literally couldn't wipe Sean's shoes picking fights, betting fights, are out there just fucking hustling motherfuckers. I get it. I get the argument of they're the suckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're going to buy his picks, fine. That's on them. Cool. I get that argument. It still don't mean I can't come on here and talk to 10 people and be like, that's still shitty, and he's still a slimy fucking tout. He made like half a unit tonight and charged people like $300. He's not that good. It's a wild world, man. That's all I'll say. That's my tout rant for this show. I'll leave it at that. I'm sure this will get to him some way, some form or fashion. It always does. I get a DM. Yeah, you know how that goes. I ain't scared, motherfucker. I'll put my record up against yours any fucking time. All right. Let me check the chat. Scud missiles, yeah. Hey, I heard Sean's got like the absolute Scud missile package. Could you imagine like Matt, imagine like a 6'5" dude walking the northern Canadian wilderness. Got to be packing a Pringles can, right? Has to be. I don't care if he's Caucasian or not. All right, man, my boy Mo Green, Virginia Slim, 120 smoking. Mine is too, Matt. Mine is too. Yeah, that old fuck Alexi, man. He's an old folk. Get on top of you and choke you out. That's pretty much all there to say about that. Holly Holm was my biggest bet on this card. Outside of Youssef, I had a lot of money on Holly Holm tonight. I know I'm an idiot to have a lot of money on Holly Holm. This is kind of what I figured would happen. This exactly here. My God, this was the co-main event of a UFC pay-per-view. I don't care if you have Conor on it or not. That's just fucking bad, man. She sucks. Raquel Pennington sucks. I never want to watch either of them fight ever again. But Holly Holm will probably be main eventing a couple cards from now. You know what's going to happen. She's absolutely going to be main eventing a fucking UFC card, and we are going to be bitching like we were her co-main eventing this card. I'll take the money though. She got down to like minus 125, which was absolutely insane against Raquel Pennington. We knew what Holm would do. Stay at distance and kick her a couple times, hold her against the cage for a lot of time, and take an easy decision. And that's what happened. I'll take that money. Then, yeah, we pretty much talked a lot about Conor. I guess the fight I want to see next is Jorge. Me personally, I want to see that fight. I think it's one of the biggest fights that can be made in the sport right now, and I think Jorge's got a shot to win. I will say about Jorge, and anybody who follows me on Twitter and shit knows how much I like me some Jorge, and I think he's going a little bit too much, man. I really do. Him tonight carrying around that fucking trinket fucking belt like Tim Sylvia back in the day, just, man, that rubbed me the wrong way. I really like Jorge, and I like his style and shit. I like his personality. But, fuck, man, dial it back just a tiny fucking bit. Learn from Conor. Just learn that. Adapt. That guy did great, but he did some things that rubbed a few people the wrong way. Adapt. Make it that much better. You can. He's in that position. He's really in that position to do that, to take that fucking star he's got and adapt it and make it huge, and I really hope he does, but he's just starting to rub me personally the wrong way just a tiny bit, and I fucking love me some Jorge. And I want him to get that fight. I want him to get that payday. He deserves it, man. Usman Jorge is next. No way. Nah, there's no way. I mean, if you're gonna, I don't know. That's a big fight for Jorge too. It is. It's a title fight. That's not paying him like tonight. Cowboy got a disclosed salary of $200,000 and $200 to win. That dude made fucking millions tonight. And I'm not sure that Jorge is going to make millions if he's fighting fucking Usman. That's not going to happen. It's a real belt though. I think Jorge's smart though. Jorge knows that Conor's the fight. I mean, everybody does. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, Jorge's that guy that would fucking he would turn down a real title shot for a money shot. Like, that guy's fucking not stupid. He would absolutely turn down a real title shot for a money shot. Yeah, I mean, I think Usman is all wrong for everybody at 170. I mean, who's beating that guy? Um, and even if you like lose to Usman, you're losing to him like ugly. Like, you're not even gonna have like some spectacular fun fight. You know what I'm saying? To be like, yeah, he lost, but fuck, he put on a hell of a show. No, you're gonna lose to Usman, and you're gonna lay there or get grinded up against the cage for. It's not gonna be good. Look, hey man, I would like, I'd buy a new closet of pants if they make Connor and Gagey. My God, like seriously, my God, dude, that shit's Connor has a better shot to beat Gagey than he does Jorge. He really does. Gagey's got a chin problem. He's a madman. He recovers crazily, but I like Connor at 155 a whole lot more, man. I think his massive power carries down so good. I don't know. It just seems like when Connor even was at 145, I don't know. It just seems like he was more tuned. His speed was incredible. Um, him at 155 is so much better. He's just, I don't know. He can't be chasing a title at 170 because he's got to know in his own mind that there is no fucking way. He's got a better shot at beating Khabib in a rematch than he does Usman. I mean, you can take that shit off the table. He's completely fucking smoked against that guy. Um, but it's good to be Conor McGregor. It is. It's fucking good to be him. There is matchups everywhere. There's paydays all over the place for the guy. I said earlier tonight, I mean, it was pretty crazy to see the crowd in Vegas. It really was. I mean, we can make fun of celebrity and all that shit, but when's the last MMA fight that you remember seeing the fucking celebrities that were out tonight in Las Vegas? I mean, the last Conor McGregor fight. Um, that guy's the biggest star this sport's ever seen. There's just absolutely no denying that. Matt's over here talking about feeding this guy Triple G. Hey, we pay a couple grand for tickets to that, right? Like, I would have to be in attendance for that. Well, yeah, after a shitty card, man. Let's see what we got. What we got coming up next week? Is next week John Jones? No, fuck. Next week is Blades and JDS. They just lock me in, like, so give me some opinions, like, does Connor absolutely fight MMA like two more times this year, or does anybody here see him taking like another massive payday in boxing before then? Say two fights in MMA, or one fight in MMA and then a boxing match. Because there's a lot of shit out there about, of course, Mayweather, Pacquiao now. And I would think that there's some insane money for him in another boxing match. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. I think that probably happens after another year in the UFC, he'll box again. He's gonna fight like a washed up guy again eventually, I guess. Let's see. So next week we got Blades and JDS. Um, I guess that Blades is gonna fuck up JDS, right? And I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna go up to Ohio, and I'm gonna have to go see my dude, the Hog, and they're rushing Rosenstruck way too fast against the Hog. And man, was talking about it on analysis for a couple years. Hogano and Blades are gonna fight a few times, man. They're gonna fight a few times in their career. Blades is good. That guy's he's a really good heavyweight, man. I like that guy. Um, what else we got on this card? Dos Anjos is back against Chiesa. Man, this is under that is fucking bad. Holy shit. Wow. That is a bad card next week. I guess that's. What the fuck are we doing, man? What are we doing? Like I was talking to my boy, my boy Aaron Bronister, great reporter, I think, in MMA. I know he's going. You know, there's some guys I follow and shit that go at Aaron a lot and stuff. I like Aaron a lot. I think Aaron's one of the best interviewers in MMA now. He's really good. His little betting question thing that he did with Dana this week is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen it, it's great. He kind of gets answers out of Dana using like betting like odds and picking different shit to where he gets a lot of information out of Dana that normally Dana wouldn't get out, but Dana's a steroid meathead so much that he doesn't realize he's giving out information that he's giving out. It's a really good interview, but I mean, he seems like one of those guys that's still a little fresher in the sport, like covering it and even following it like as closely. Like I've followed this shit for so long. He still sees like the upside and the good side in it. Like it's growing. It's gonna get bigger, and I'm like I don't see it. I think this is it. This is like the peak and the plateau of MMA. Like if you watch like Sports Center, like those Sports Center anchors that been there forever and shit and are doing the highlights, when they do like a UFC highlight or it gets on top 10 or something, they call it in such disdain, just like such they, you know, like, ugh, I can't believe I'm calling an MMA highlight. It's like, it's never going to be some kind of sport to a large chunk of people. It's just never going to happen. MMA is plateauing, and it's plateaued so much that they're just the TV deal now. I call it Dana White Contender Series. It's just like finding bodies. They're just trying to find warm bodies to throw to guys to fill up cards. You know, this sport is so watered down, man. It's not even close to what it used to be. And to me, thinking that this sport's just going to keep right, maybe overseas and stuff. In North America, this sport has seen its peak. It has seen it. It's plateaued. As a betting man, it keeps me involved, and I'll always be a fight junkie. If Maddie's still in here, he knows he's been through the grind of boxing over the years and years and years. I'll always be a combat sports fan, but Man, it takes a toll nowadays. It really does. But yeah, that's my that's my ranting. That's my last ranting. Um, let's see. I always wanted to see Nick Diaz in boxing. I really did. I don't think Nick was like the greatest boxer, like a lot of people always claim, like, oh, he's so great at boxing. But I thought Nick was a really good boxer. Um, Seemed like he'd have done pretty good at it. Um, a guy that boxed more than I would have liked to seen him in MMA is fucking Tyrone Spong. Was waiting for that guy to do like legitimate MMA forever, and then he broke his damn leg. Then they lined him up against supposed to fight. God damn, I can't remember his exact name. God damn it, Ukrainian. Fuck, Maddie's gonna kick my ass for forgetting his name now. I didn't forget his name. I just can't remember exactly. But that was gonna be bad for Spung. But yeah, I always wanted to see Spung up. But yeah, there's a lot of guys in that realm. Uh, but yeah, I will quit ranting. We went about 50 something minutes. Yeah, thanks for jumping in, guys. It was not like a great card to rant about. It was hard to get pumped up to do it, but um, having Matt, my fucking yeah, I'm telling you, man, I'm like Maddie's gonna want to kick me in the dick for like forget his name. That guy's fucking awesome. Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, having Maddie in the chat tonight, my fucking boyfriend Matt, we're gonna pound Lance's asshole out next week. Show up, bring the lube. It's gonna be on. Gonna be a fun time. Um, my boy Steve got a better accent than I do. Yeah, man. Thanks for all y'all chilling with me for a little bit, man. Let me rant, being in the chat, and yeah, we'll do this shit again next week. Be another shitty card, but yeah, we'll jump on and talk some bullshit about it. Thanks, guys, man. I'll talk with y'all on the Twitter. Peace.